Hey, then now, time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call this Town of Plainfield Board of Selectmen meeting to order February 22nd, 2021, and ask for a call to order and a pledge of allegiance. Who wouldn't mind please rising for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call.
Art Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham,
Becky Hewitt.
all right, I do not see Kathy here, so for now. Item C, approved minutes of February 8th, 2021.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for February 8th, 2021.
I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item D, public comment. Hearing none, we move into old business, discuss and act on rehabilitation. I'll make sure I get this proper here. So this is a rehabilitation program with a resolution. So there was modifications that were made to the last request as we read through it. And Art, have you had time to run through the modifications?
Yep.
Any questions at this point?
No.
All right. In that case, we've talked about this already. If you want to entertain a motion, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
All right, so I'll second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion is carried. All right. And we do appreciate all the work that both Mary Ellen and Mary Ann did to work on this. It is something that we could use for future. Probably sooner than we think. All right. Item F1, consider act on electronic date backup policy. Kyle is on with us right now. If you'd like to talk about this for a few minutes, I don't know if you've read through or not, Art, but there is an electronic backup data policy now. We'd like to put it into place. So it's something we just want to make sure we know how this process would work, and there is a certain policy on how to do it. That would change with new technologies as they come up. So I remember when Kyle first started writing this up, it was a while ago, and Kyle mentioned that there was tape backup. So that's how old this is, was originally. So he's made some modifications to it just to explain, what it defined, how it is to do a backup and archive and do a restore. So do you have any questions on this, Art, how it processes out?
I do not. I read through it and I like it.
Okay. So at this time, we entertain a motion to accept the Town of Plainfield electronic data backup policy.
So moved.
I will second that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And the second one is consider act on acceptable use policy for computers and electronic devices. This one is, again, something that was kind of waiting to be done. It's something that a lot of companies do. They have a use policy for what you can use your computer for, such as internet, emails, and basically it tells you that the company has the rights and owns those accesses and abilities to get to files that are being opened up or places you visited. So it's just a way to protect the company to make sure that the employees know what they can and cannot do. And have you had a chance, Art, to read through?
I did. Same thing, no questions. I like it.
Okay. So that way we would now entertain a motion to accept the acceptable use policy for computers and electronic devices.
So moved.
I will second that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Number 3 is consider an act on a bid for purchase of 2 2021 Dodge Charger vehicles. Now, you will see in your packet, oh, here comes Kathy right now. Hold on one second. All right. And Kathy, just to catch you up where we are, we've already gone through the old business and we've approved that. We've also gone through items 1 and 2 and approved those. We're now on number 3, consider an act on a bid for the purchase of 2 2021 Dodge Charger all-wheel drive police vehicles. And in your packets, you will see that there is 2 vehicles that were bid on. The bid came in at $33,822, which is more than we anticipated. You'll see a letter there from,
Okay, and I apologize for,
all right, that's okay. We're actually doing very well with just running through, but if you have any questions, we can talk about it at the end for the other items. Let me just see. Oh, yes, as a reminder, there is something we do have to do as a housekeeping issue. Now that we passed that resolution in the old business, the resolution does need to be adopted by the town meeting. So we'll go forward and set forth a meeting for that. We'll add that at the end here. But the item here we're discussing right now is about the Chargers, and they did come over budget. They were anticipated to come in at a lower number. They came in at a higher, and you'll see the letter that was written by the chief discusses how he'd like to be able to anticipate the difference of $3,644. So he'd like to cover the difference by using a line item expense, and we'll do a transfer to that effect to the Board of Finance at a future meeting. But he does have the monies available for it in his vehicle expense line item, so he can do that. Any questions or discussion on this one? If not,
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the 2 Dodge Chargers, 2021 Dodge Chargers for the police department.
at $33,822 each.
Yes, for a total of 64. No. Oh, they don't have the total here.
It's a 67,644.
67,644?
Yes.
Okay.
So you amend your motion to include it.
I'll amend my motion to approve the purchase of the 2 Dodge Chargers, 2021 Dodge Chargers for the total of $67,644.
Motion's been made. I will second that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, item, looks like Kathy's dropped off. Item number 4, consider an act on the bid for town real estate agent of the iPark remaining lots, just to give you an idea of how this process has been done so far. A year ago, we were looking to get support for selling those iPark lots, and we thought it might be the best idea to go out to a realtor to help us out, and then they would get a commission based on the sale. We had one company came in, we didn't have any action whatsoever. At the 6-month mark, we asked for to modify that for Lyman Corporation, Lyman Real Estate, and they have been working very diligently for the last 6 months. And matter of fact, now we've sold 4 at this point, 4 out of the remaining 6 lots, and they're working hard to do the final 2. So we really need to motion this to go forward with, in my opinion, would be to continue with Lyman Real Estate for the next 6 months to see if they can work on selling the final remaining iPark lots. So I'd entertain a motion at this point to allow the town real estate agent for the iPark lots to be Lyman Real Estate for the next 6 months.
So moved.
Motion, and I will second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And as mentioned, one housekeeping issue we have to do would be to add this, add the item for the resolution that we had passed in the old business. We would need to actually add that to a town meeting. So we would entertain a motion to add item 5 onto the agenda to set a date for the Town of Plainfield Rehabilitation Area Program to a town meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, and I will,
Item 5, send the
Okay.
town meeting.
I will second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So really, at this point, it's just setting out a date for the Town of Plainfield to have a town meeting for the Rehabilitation Area Program as presented. You need usually minimum 5 business days, but you usually do 10. Seeing as though today's the 22nd of February, it might be best for us to look for something along the lines of the 17th, Wednesday the 17th. It gives us time to put it out as a legal notice into the Turnpike buyer, and then gives us a full 10 days. So I would entertain a motion to set a town meeting date.
There's a Board of Selectmen meeting that night. I mean,
Oh.
Board of Finance meeting that night.
Good catch. Do we have anything for March 18th? How about, I'm looking here, the next really available time that gives us space is probably the 24th of March, which is a Wednesday. I see
Unless-
nothing on the calendar for that.
Would the 15th work? How many days?
Well, that's Conservation Commission at 7 PM.
Yeah, the only empty one is the 24th.
Yeah, why don't we do the 15th? We do the 15th at 6:30. It's a town meeting that is one item, so.
All right.
Want to do that?
Okay. Yeah.
Entertain a motion for a town meeting for the adoption of the Town of Plainfield Rehabilitation Program for the 15th at 6:30.
So moved.
All right, I will second that. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye,
Aye. And just a note, that's it via Zoom, correct?
yes.
Okay.
I don't think we have to bring anything else in. So is there anything else for other? There are a few things in your packet for other. We are working, well, I'll save that one on top of your pile for last, the Railroad Ave one. So we are working with, following up on some of the things we've tried to do. There was a community connectivity grant for what we were trying to do in the village of Oregon for the sidewalks. They came back, the state of Connecticut came back and gave a list of the towns that won their request. Town of Plainfield was not awarded that project. That doesn't mean that it's going to go away. It just means that we're going to try for other opportunities, different ways to get grants for it. And if not, we'll try to apply for the next round of Connecticut Connectivity Program grants. So at this point, we move forward.
I have a question on that.
Sure.
Was that a matter of they took certain ones, or was it first come, first serve?
Oh, there were certain ones. They what they do is they sit down and the Connecticut Transportation Commission goes through and they work with all the applications that came in. And again, they get with the input of what was going on, they prioritize the grants as to what they thought would be the most important. Usually you get about 20 or so that actually get approved. This year they got about 10. So like Bristol, Groton, Meriden, New Britain, Old Saybrook, Portland, Stamford, Waterbury, West Hartford, and Windsor. Ours was an aggressive grant. It was at the top of the list. There's 4 other ones, 3 other ones that got to 600,000. But ours was as aggressive as theirs, so we'll just try again. In the meantime, we'll be looking for other grant opportunities that might be able to cover this outside of this community, Connecticut Community Connectivity Program. Okay, next one up is, you'll notice that I kept in your program there a TEC Associates,
Mhm.
talking about the Providence and Worcester Railroad. They talk about their vegetation control program, and they're going to be looking to do that on May 15th. Just wanted you to keep aware of that in case people see what's going on with the trains and why are they stopping and spraying. That's what they're doing. They're trying to get rid of the vegetation going along the tracks. And so that's going to happen on May 15th. Also in your packet, you will see, again, for the public to know that SEMA4 is doing a COVID regional testing. We have now contracted with SEMA4, Plainfield Senior Center, Mondays and Thursdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a drive-through. Basically, if you have your papers, you can go online and get your papers and print them off, fill it out real quick, and you drive through and get it done in a matter of, what was it, 2 minutes? I went with my wife the other day to do it just to make sure we were all tested and how long it really took. So it was only just a matter of 2 minutes in and out. So that's going to be also on Saturdays from 12 to 4. So it's Mondays, Thursdays, 3 to 6 p.m., Saturdays from 12 to 4, free. You can go through, get your test. And there's also a listing there of the other places that have it, but we're trying to add on more opportunities for people to get tested if they need it. The other thing you'll notice is the flyer for the Town of Plainfield Household Hazard Waste Collection Day. And we put those flyers up on our Facebook page, on our website, and letting people know that that's coming up. We've already had a few questions on those and trying to help people out and get the reply back as soon as possible. The last thing I have in your packet that you'll see is we are looking to get engineering information on multiple projects over the next couple of years. And the sooner we get to some of them, the better, because there are safety issues. One of them was on Railroad Ave. We own that parking lot behind the Horsebrook in that area right there. And so what we'd like to do is be able to put up parking lights over there for safety. We're looking at how much it's going to cost and working with Chuck Eaton. He gave us an estimate for the materials, the labor, and working with the Eversource. So we anticipate that if we do this, we can get 2 lights, one in the front of that turnaround and one at the very end. And we will be able to put the whole project together and done with Eversource for $19,750. So we're looking for that to be done. That's the first of the couple of projects we'd like to do. We'll see if we can, if possible, with any monies left over this year. I'll make sure that we're, if there's anything anticipated, we work with the Board of Finance to make sure that they're aware of what's happening. This is one of the projects. The other one is we're getting engineering specs on the sidewalks that are underneath from McDonald's. We're going to go all the way over to actually where Amazon will be. So that would be another one for safety issues. We'd like to see if we can get work together with Amazon for some of that sidewalk, and what it would be for grants to get grant availability for that. That's 2 of them. And
While you're on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Could I tell you, there's one more spot that needs attention. It's
okay,
right in front of Turning Heads. There's like a stream that goes under, and nobody
Yep.
wants to do this, that little piece of sidewalk over it.
okay. We
If
can look
at that. That way people wouldn't have to go out in the street right there.
I don't know why that was never completed originally. We'll look into that though.
Well, I think it has to be engineered because it's over a stream or something, so.
Any other items for discussion? For other?
I'm still
Hearing
working
none.
on the ordinances, of course. Getting close, I'm on 98
Out of how many?
out of 135 or something. So
That's a large task. That
we'll
is.
have them online before you know it.
I got to thank you, Art, because you're really digging in on that one. That's for those people who don't know.
I'm learning though.
Yeah, and I would say to the public that are listening, for the ordinances, when I saw what Art did for work, it was amazing, because what you see is who the selectmen at the time were, the town clerk, because some of those, a lot of them didn't have that information in there. So you're adding that in when it was being done and proposed, and it really ties it together very nicely, because it also ties it to the more updated versions as you go. So it's a much easier read. And once we get that all completed, to put it up online would be fantastic. So everybody can just go in there and look by category or by numerical order. So again, thank you, Art. All right, with that, we did citizens participation earlier with public comment, but I know, Sean, if you had something you wanted to say before we just jump out.
Yeah, I just had one question, Kevin.
Yep.
On the streetlights behind Horsebrook,
Yes.
would that fall to the fire department to pay for, or would that be a town expense?
It's a town expense. These are not the streetlights that you would see up along any roadway area. This is a town expense, so we have a meter over there as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. With that, entertain a motion to adjourn,
So moved.
and I will second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night. Okay. Time is now 7:27. I'd like to call this Town of Plainfield Water Pollution Control Authority meeting to order. And roll call.
Art Gagny,
Kevin Cunningham,
Becky Hewitt,
I don't see Kathy in. All right, item C, entertain a motion to approve minutes of January 25th, unless there's any corrections that need to be made.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for January 25th, 2021.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Item D, public comment. Hearing none. Item E, new business, discuss and act on sewer assessment at 7 Green Street. I did receive an update from this. The family in question had asked for initially to discuss this issue at a meeting. They have now paid their full assessment fee, so this is a moot point. So we don't have to act on this at all. Number 2 says discuss and act on charging a fee for collection and reviewing permits for the general permit and discharge of miscellaneous industrial users, the MIUGP. So this is a change that has come through on item 2 for the state of Connecticut, how they like to have things done. And I know Stephanie's on the line with us right now. Maybe Stephanie, if you wouldn't mind just giving a generic overview of this so we can understand.
Yeah. So the general permit for discharges for miscellaneous industrial users, DEP used to take these permits in and charge a fee for collecting them and take care of it. They've decided they've no longer wish to do this, so they're putting it on all the WPCAs to collect the permits. So we are now allowed, if we so choose, to charge a fee for collecting these permits, looking through them, and potentially going out to sites and inspecting. So a DEP used to charge I was told between $600 and $2,000 a permit. So my idea is to keep it between that, is for the permit charge $600. And then depending on what they're applying for, they have to submit attachments with the permit. So there's attachment A, B, C, D, and E. So I'd say charge a $300 fee per attachment to keep it between the $600 and $2,000. So this went into effect October 31st, 2020. Due to COVID, they extended it out to January 29th, 2021. And due to COVID, they extended it out again. So now all the permits are due to me by April 29th, 2021. And as of now, I've only received one permit from the State Connecticut Department of Transportation, Plainfield Signature and Markings Facility. That's the only one I've received so far.
All right, so just to clarify, the state of Connecticut has not received any fees. They're actually due right now by April, what was the date again? April what?
April 29th, 2021.
And how many do we have in town?
So the list from DEP is a little incomplete. It was last updated in 2019, but the list shows about 9 facilities in Plainfield that are under this permit.
So the authorizing statute talks about how the towns are now going to take it over.
Yes.
They've given you the guidelines. We have about 9 of them to do, and only one of them is turned in their paperwork. So what's going to happen, Stephanie, if you're going to have to go out individually to each of these businesses to say, this is what's going on, it's no longer done by the state, we're the collector?
So they each have their own permit, so they're in charge of renewing it themselves. So I shouldn't have to go to any of these places and remind them that the permit they're on is expiring. They should know it's expiring and should come to me with the paperwork. But chances are, most of them, if I haven't received it by now, have probably forgotten.
Okay, so I would probably guess at this point it might be good because of the change from getting the paperwork to the state like they used to do, that they should be going and giving you the paperwork. So you maybe want to do a reminder letter to them to, help them out to say this is a change. And by the way, where's the fees?
Right.
That would be, I would suggest that would be the first thing to do.
So, yeah. So we have to set the fee if we so choose there to be one.
Yep, so that was the next piece of business would be setting a fee. Now, if you're going to follow what the state did for fee structures, which I would recommend. And we talked about this very briefly, how, you wanted to keep it very similar to what we have at the state. That way it's not going to be a shock, a sticker shock to people as they say, well, wait a minute, now we're going to the town, we got to pay whatever it might be, double or triple.
Right.
I think that it's only fair to do that, and then send a letter out to all the other businesses, let them know that you're the collector now, you're the one do the taking the permits for the discharges. Is there anything else that we have to do as a municipality?
So like I said, at minimum, we have to collect and maintain these permits on site. So that's at minimum. Like I said, at most, we get to go out and inspect and, make sure everything's up to code. Because some of them I have to do sampling and analysis depending on what it is. Like BST, for example, might be one of the ones that are on this. So clearly they're discharging different chemicals compared to Connecticut Signs and Marking, which only does vehicle wastewater.
Mm-hmm. And you're talking about a fee of 600?
Yeah, for the permit with no attachment, I was thinking we would charge 600 for the permit collection. And the permit's valid till October 30th, 2025. This isn't like a yearly fee. It would go till the permit expired.
Okay. Do you need a motion from us to set the fee, or do you do that?
I think I have to ask, Becky's on the line. I think you guys would be in charge of setting the fee, not me. So I could tell you what my recommendation is, which is that. But in the end, I guess it's up to you guys to set the fee.
Okay. That's fair enough.
Can I ask a question? Do we have to set a fee for the attachments as well?
So yeah, my idea was 600 for just the blank permit. Then if you need attachment A, you would add $300. If you need attachment B, add $300. And if you need attachment C, $300. And it goes all the way down to E, which is just additional information that I would require. So I would just charge fees up to D.
So I have a question. If they do A and B, is that an additional 600?
Yes.
All right.
So it's 300 for each, A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could entertain a motion to do the paperwork for the permitting and discharge for $600. And then if there's any additional items, A, B, C, or D, each one would be a $300 fee.
Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
So that would be my motion.
We have to
Alright,
also make a motion that, to accept this?
Yep.
From DEP, taking it over?
No, they actually put it onto all the towns with that statute. So really, we're just saying, as a town, we're just setting a fee.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we set the permit fee at $600 for permit and discharge and $300 for each additional. What did you call them?
A, B, C, and D,
Attachments.
attachments.
And if you guys want a copy, I could send you guys, the permit's 72 pages. I don't know if you
I
guys.
saw that. I didn't want to print it out and put it in everybody's
Yeah.
binder, but yeah, I saw that.
Thank you.
So we have we've entertained a motion. I'll do the second. Any other discussion at this time? No. All in favor, say aye,
Aye.
and that has it. So thank you very much, Steph.
Make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And it's 7:36. Thank you very much. Have a great night.